This is the story of inclusive post-secondary education in Alberta, where more post-secondary institutions than anywhere else in the world are including students with developmental disabilities. It begins almost 20 years ago when the first initiative to include students in post-secondary academic and campus life began. For students and their families, what had previously been unimaginable was now a reality.
I knew something about colleges. I knew a group of families that were very disappointed in what the life outcomes looked like for their young adult sons and daughters and wanted a very different life, a more enriched life, a life where dreams might come true. And so I helped them to establish the first inclusive post-secondary education opportunity at a university anywhere, and here in Alberta.
I had the good fortune of meeting a family who were very, very interested in having their son go to university. And he had a severe developmental disability, and they wanted him to attend U of C just as his brothers and sisters had done.
Students with developmental disabilities, including those with significant disabilities, are fully included in regular university and college faculties, programs, and courses. Students are supported by their peers, taught by class professors and instructors, and complete as much of the coursework as possible. Students also participate in social and recreational life of the campuses where they attend.
I would suggest to others if they want to go to college to do so, because it's a very good experience. You meet tons and lots of new people that you think you'd never be able to meet.
I think in the last 5 years, Chris's involvement with the team, the players on the team, the coaches, the boosters, assistant coaches, I believe that because he has made such a good impression on all of them with his personality, I think that he has made many good social connections, whether it be connections in the community for job opportunities. I think that it will vastly improve any life experience he wants to have in the future.
Today, there are 4 universities, 6 colleges, and 1 technical institute welcoming over 60 students with developmental disabilities into an amazing and growing array of courses, departments, and faculties. More than 70% of students with developmental disabilities who pursue an inclusive post-secondary education go on to have jobs and careers. Funding is provided to enable each post-secondary initiative to have a small complement of staff to facilitate inclusion on campus. It is likely that in the near future, every post-secondary institution in Alberta will offer inclusive post-secondary opportunities.
We support inclusive post-secondary education because post-secondary education is important, and it's important that as many people who can benefit from post-secondary education have the opportunity. And so we exist because our job is to give our students, and that means all of our students, as many opportunities to grow and to learn, to prepare themselves for the world ahead.
The notion of a university, and particularly one that's a provincial institution, is that it's supposed to serve the whole community in a lot of ways and not just enrich knowledge for a very small minority. And so what we do for the community in general, I think, is an important part of what we do and helps us meet that mission.
One of the most striking things about the development of inclusive post-secondary education is how receptive and responsive universities, colleges, faculty, and students have been. This stands in stark contrast to the challenges many parents still face in wanting their son or daughter with developmental disabilities to be included in elementary or secondary education.
When we asked many people, their first response was to say, well, gee, I hope I can be a good enough teacher, not to say, oh, they don't belong here. So it was quite dramatic how the early worries were not lived out at all by our actual experience.
For the most part, when the program's really working well, it's kind of invisible. It's because, the students from the on-campus program are just blending in with everybody else. It's probably a bad sign when it's easy to notice, and a good sign when it seems like it's almost disappeared.
I almost now can't imagine what it would be like to have learning going on at Red Deer College without these people here participating with us, because they add so much to who we are.
What I found striking is how the instructors talk about how this has enriched the learning experience and has stimulated the learning experience for everyone in the classroom.
Each and every student with developmental disabilities pursues their own individualized course of studies. Support in the classroom is offered by their non-disabled peers. There is never a shortage of university or college students willing to support a student with developmental disabilities.
Working with Heather, she's kind of quiet, like she's opened up now, but this is towards the end of the semester. She was pretty reclusive at the start.
It's a chance for someone like Stephen to develop a different kind of relationship that they might not normally have had an opportunity to. I think it broadens them out in terms of not only the educational experience, but also I think broadens them out as a human being.
I've found like there's some stuff that I didn't know about that she's actually shown me. She has a job outside of school in an art store. And I'm assuming it might be through that, or maybe from one of her other classes. She knew some stuff about painting and just how to mix paints that I had no idea what to do. So I get to learn from her as I guess I'm helping her.
I get support with my studying, my assignments, getting to know my peers in my class.
What kind of classes are we doing now? Music, yeah. And what's the other one? And we're doing that comparative literature class. Yeah.
If people are interested in participating in a class that I'm involved in, I see no reason to deny them that opportunity, because obviously there's an interest there on their part.
In groups like this, which have a high performance standard but a community aspect to them, I would say that this can enhance the sense of community within the group, because frankly the whole group is quite proud of Brian, and they always feel, whenever I mention his name and say, Brian, that was well done, they all shuffle their feet or clap. Building community within your ensemble is a fantastic thing, so I would strongly urge anyone who has the opportunity to do this, it's going to be just nothing but good for the ensemble.
Our involvement really is not that much, but what we get from it is just the realization that we're doing something to help somebody that makes that person feel really important part of what we do.
I mean, it's been a great opportunity not only for Chris. I mean, I know Chris loves it and has a great time, but we love Chris as well, you know, and so I think it's been mutually beneficial.
I'm going to go here to college, and I love it. When I first came here, I was nervous, but after I started fitting in here, I started to love it here.
I like the way that the student comes into the classroom and then they're introduced, so that the other students in the class know what's going on. All that is stated up front, so it's really not difficult for me to embrace this student just like I would any other student.
When I first started out at college, I was really excited. We would skate forward and backwards and practice and skills and a scrimmage.
The class absolutely loves having Steve in there. It's, you know, he's a delightful personality and he's very easy to get along with. He keeps things entertaining and upbeat, and the guys and the girls in the class react very well to him. Everybody's willing to help out. There was never a situation where there was always the same person helping him through the drills. I think it was a real positive experience for everybody.
He's there to learn, you know, he listens, and this is a good thing for everybody, because, you know, disruptions in the class are uncalled for, and Steve hasn't ever disrupted our class. He's a positive influence on our class.
Students' experiences don't stop with academics. A big part of the post-secondary experience includes involvement in campus life outside of the classroom.
Steve is part of what they do on their free time, and if that isn't belonging, then I don't know what is.
He's got that positive aspect, and everyone is his friend, and everyone knows him, and just something you strive for. You know, everyone wants to be liked, and Steve is that guy.
Honestly, I've had opportunities to get to know people with disabilities in the past, but never been interested in it, not thinking they had really anything to offer me. Very selfish viewpoint, I know, but given the opportunity I feel that I've learned a lot because Chris has a lot to offer. So it's been a great learning experience for me and life experience even beyond gaining a friend.
I've had occasion to speak to students, to the faculty members, and all of them describe it as a learning experience and a growing experience, a maturing experience for everyone concerned.
All I could tell another parent is that it has the potential to change your child's life as well as your own life.
I never even graduated grade 12. So to see my son finish grade 12 and then go to college, it's very exciting. We're very proud. We're bragging all the time.
The story of inclusive post-secondary education is still being written. It is written by parents who speak from their heart about the meaning and value of inclusive post-secondary education, by faculty who describe how it adds to the richness of the college and university experience, and by students with developmental disabilities who are pursuing their dreams.
Crossing the stage was a really cool and great experience. I felt that the chair of my program was proud of me and my family was proud of me.
Convocation was a very rewarding, wonderful experience. We were so proud of her. It was just an experience of a lifetime that we never thought was possible for our daughter.
Well, we've always said people with developmental disabilities are limited, by our opinions and reflections on who they are. That not only is inclusive post-secondary education clearly challenged that, but in fact I think it really challenges the whole idea of the nature of developmental disability.